together to look at some final action, but first I'll announce that we are going to take HB 2025, the repeal of the 3-mile extraterritorial planning and zoning authority bill, was going to go to interim committee if we get one together this summer. And so if anyone who would like to be a part of that committee, let Deb know, and then we'll pick out of the pile. It may be 3 or 4. There'll be a House probably and a Senate committee contributions to the committee. So keep that in mind. And we will move on to just a couple of bills to take final action on. And Mr. Long, if you would give a brief on 2145 and tell us what you've got.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, House Bill 2145 is the bill that was amending a statute to establish the membership appointments for the Butler County Fair Board. This was amending a statute that already establishes membership appointments for the Cloud County Fair Board, and House Bill 2145 would simply add a new subsection to that for Butler County to create a fair board of 15 members appointed annually at a December meeting of the county commissioners, with at least one member of the fair board to be appointed from each county commissioner district and no more than 5 to be appointed from the county at large. Recall in discussion in committee, there is a underlying statute 2-128 that sets the general requirements for appointments of county fair boards, and Cloud County and Butler County are simply variations on that to authorize slightly smaller county fair boards for those counties. And with the enactment of that statute, counties can exercise their home rule and opt into one of those 2 alternative methods for appointing fair boards if they so choose.
All right, committee. Vice Chair Blacks.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to make a motion that when the committee consider House Bill 2145, it pass favorably out for committee.
Seconded by Representative Slinken-Shippen. Is there further discussion? Representative Barrs.
Thank you, Chairman. I actually would like to propose and move that we look at a substitute amendment to HB 2145. I can offer explanation once everybody gets it.
We have all received a copy. Would you like to describe your amendment?
Yes, I would. So when we were in committee,
amendment or a substitute bill, is that correct?
Okay.
Sure. What did you say? You said
it's a it's a substitute as an amendment to HB 2145. Did I say that right, Jason?
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So when we were in committee and had the hearing on this, I was looking up online the actual original KSA 2-128 and trying to find out how this fit into the organization of the current statute, because I wanted it to be really clear that the current statute stays in place. The way the original bill that we had the hearing on would put it out of order and not make this crystal clear. So I just this is a procedural thing. And when I asked the revisor on how he would have written this, he agreed that it procedurally, like in organized, would make more sense for it to be written this way. So it does still allow for the 2 counties to have those different options. And then the original way that it is written also allows for the original current KSA 2-128 to also exist. I also had checked with my my county's fair board to verify if this was okay with them, if they saw any problems with it. And they actually said, I can see how the two different new ways could help different boards that struggle. And that as long as they also had the current way available to them, that would be great as well. I can stand for if there's any questions for anybody on it as well.
Is there any questions for Representative Barth or for the revisor? Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think I'm reading that the 15 in the original is now going to 12. No?
Mr. Revisor.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, under the proposed substitute, what you have is the original authorizing statute 2-128. And then all that's happened is the provisions of the bill as introduced have been added to the statute as subsections B, C, and D over onto page 2. And so you'll see subsection B is just an exact copy of what is current law for Cloud County with a 12-member board. Subsection C is a copy of what is proposed under House Bill 2145 to authorize Butler County to have a county fair board of 15 members. And then subsection D is the current law establishing the term limits and filling the vacancies for those two boards, Cloud County and Butler County. And so it's just taking the original contents of 2145 and amending them into the KSA 2-128 instead of the current statute that's up in Chapter 19. It's more of an organizational amendment than anything.
Okay, thank you. My error. So do you concur all this does is clarifies the original bill, or what we're using now is still valid, and then adds this to that? That's you concur with?
Mr. Chairman, yes, it does nothing with respect to the underlying base authority of 2-128. Those amendments you see there are purely to clean up what is a relatively antiquated statute language-wise. And then it just adds the exceptions that are already in law for Cloud County and being proposed for Butler County.
Are there others? Representative Barth, would you like to make a motion on your action?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to move that we accept and approve the proposed substitute amendment for House Bill 2145.
Now, I will clarify with our revisor. That'll be amending, and then we'll move on the entire action. Okay. Everybody understand? Okay. Yes. And we need a second. Okay. Got one. All right. And all in favor of that amendment, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And it passes. We're back on the bill. Is there a motion to pass as amended?
Mr. Chair, I would like to move House Bill 2145 favorably out of committee as amended.
Is there a second? Seconded by Representative Slingenshiepen. Not any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And it passes. Yeah. Moving right along. House Bill 2116. Is there a description we can hear before a reminder from our revisor Long?
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, House Bill 2116 is the bill that creates some new law requiring certain cities and counties to use standard contract provisions that are prescribed by the Department of Administration and used in state contracts. This is limited just to counties of the second and third class and to counties with a population of less than 35,000. They would use these standard contract provisions that are based on the state Form DA-146A, but they could opt out of some of those provisions except for some jurisdictional provisions and liability provisions that are part of those form contracts. Those would not be, those would be required to be in every contract for the cities and counties. This would go into effect on July 1st of this year.
Is that clear to everyone? If it is, I would entertain a motion on this item. Mr. Vice Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to move that when the committee considers House Bill 2116.
And a second. Seconded by Representative Ken. I couldn't call you quick enough. If no further discussion, if not, all in favor say aye. Opposed? Not hearing any. The bill will be passed out favorably for passage. That actually concludes our business for today. We will be working more diligently on a number of bills in the next couple of weeks. That's all we have in time. And we will keep you posted online. If you have any questions, call the assistant or I, and we will try to keep you informed. If you're, again, if you're interested in carrying a bill, let Vice Chair Blex know, and I think we have some of them lined up already. So is there anything else that we need to discuss before we close this meeting? In the second half, we intend to have an update from the municipal utilities organization, and they'll just be given information what they did a couple of years ago in committee to tell about how municipal governments run utilities as opposed to larger organizations. Mostly it deals with water and sewer, but some of them are actually their own power brokerage as well. So thank you for keeping that in mind. And if you have any other ideas for meetings, anything you want added to meetings, that most of our substance of time is going to be in hearings. So keep that in mind. So we've got a number of things coming from the Senate, and we're not acquainted yet with all those, what they'll be. So finishing out the year like we started, motors going. Have a great day, and we're adjourned.